I've been making one video every day for a year, mainly because I'm a musician and I like to see progress. I like to do things that I really enjoy and I like challenges. But also, I found that the challenge that has come for me right now is fitness. And there are 5 goals that I have right now. And most people, they care about a certain weight they want to hit, running a certain amount, you know, swimming a certain amount, looking a certain way. And I find that those are not the goals that I have. So the 5 goals that I have right now are kind of interesting, but they're very personal because they all have a reason. And even though I typically talk about music on this channel, fitness has been really big for me because I found that I haven't been as healthy as I could. And I want to give you a little backstory. So, sorry, I know I was going to get to the 5 goals and all of that, but I need to explain this first. So, when I was young, I had been diagnosed with bad asthma and like chronic asthma when I was 3. Up until I was about 15, it was very debilitating. I couldn't do things, I had to stay inside. I was in the hospital 4 months out of the year. And I just didn't have the ability to be able to do the things I wanted. My friends went skateboarding or, bike riding or went to the park or whatever. I just couldn't do that most of the time. I could do it sometimes, but it was very rare. So a lot of times I had to do homework in the hospital. I had to do, things like that. And so I was alone a lot. And my parents came and that was great, but it was still hard because they can't be there 24/7 and you want to be able to hang out with your friends. And my friends would come by every once in a while, but they had school and I was only in elementary, middle school by that point. So I used to immerse myself in the world of reading and video games to try and have something to do. I've always loved video games, I always loved reading. And those were 2 things that I did a lot when I was alone or in the hospital. And even when I was inside, because it was really the only things I could do. And then I found out that I had mild scoliosis, and that was interesting. And it's kind of like a snowball effect to explain it all. I was constantly dealing with my asthma, so I couldn't really go outside. I was playing video games, I was reading, so I had like pretty bad posture over the course of time between the scoliosis and like bending over to read, bending over to play video games, whatever, sitting in a chair all the time. And I also developed problems with joint pain and bones later on because I had to take steroids all the time. And so now, being 27, I realized that the things that I did to get past that point have been awesome. I've been able to play tennis in college. I was able to, be a tennis coach. I was able to go to the gym. I was able to work on my fitness. And it also made me have more of a like strong physique. I had to take like a prednisone. This for opening up your lungs for your asthma. And I was taking it a lot. So a lot of times in like middle school and high school, people would make fun of like how strong my shoulders were and how like my body was built, but nothing I could do about that. Regardless. Oh, they also cause weight gain. Regardless, I've hit a point now where I'm more able to do the things that I want to do. My asthma isn't as bad, even though it's still there, and I have to take daily inhalers and have an inhaler for emergencies, but it's so much better than it was when I was young. And I wanted to seize the opportunity and do things that I couldn't do before. I couldn't even play like the trumpet, and now I can play the trumpet. But I couldn't play at the time because my elementary school teacher was worried that it would make me sick. It would make me feel bad, so I had to play the cello. And it was a little heartbreaking. I liked the cello, but I really wanted to play like trumpet or clarinet, and I didn't have that ability. And so I told myself that I would try things and challenge myself to do things in my lifetime that I didn't get to do. And I want to do the hardest things possible to just prove it to myself. I want to, do a video every day for a year, which is what I'm doing now. I'm on day like 224 or something like that. I want to learn more languages. I want to get more fit. I want to hit 10 million streams on Spotify. Like these things, they're not unattainable because the things that I thought were unattainable were not. I couldn't have imagined that I would be able to ride a bike for 17 miles, 10, 15 years ago. It wasn't even a possibility. And there were times that people were scared, like I was broken, and I realized that there was nothing I could do about that. But as I started to get better, I wanted to seize the opportunity to do things. And so there are 5 kind of things that I'm focused on now to be more fit, but a lot of it is trying to fight against things that have gone against me, like carpal tunnel. I had carpal tunnel, chronic pain, the scoliosis, my posture, things like that. And so instead of having a weight goal or a running goal or whatever, I now have these 5 goals. One is the grip strength. I want to improve my grip strength, and I want my hands to be stronger. I want to make sure that I focus on that so that I don't have carpal tunnel issues, because that kind of stinks. And I want to be able to kind of be stronger in that area. And so I want to make sure that my hands are strong, that I'm not hurting myself, and that my grip is good. That's number 1. Number 2 is mobility and flexibility. I have a lot of pain typically, especially in like my back and shoulders and my neck, and it actually caused a lot of headaches. And so I'm trying to relieve a lot of that pressure. I've been doing like posture and mobility exercises for the last like 2 months, and I want to keep doing that. I really liked yoga years ago. When I was in college, I used to do hot yoga, and I kind of stopped because I just didn't have the time for it and it wasn't a priority. But now I'm going to look back into it. So yoga, mobility, flexibility, been really liking that. Another thing that I want to do is improve my posture. And so my posture is not great, and it's getting better actually. If you see here, like when I was first like being able to sit up, like I actually can sit up without it really hurting. And I'm trying to have better posture, especially working in tech and being at an office and a TV screen, a computer screen all day. I want to be able to not, look like the dad from Coraline. So that's something I'm also focused on, which I've been really excited about. I also want to goodness. I want to focus on endurance for biking. I want to be able to mountain bike, and I want to be able to go on long bike rides. I'm actually wanting to go on I want to hit like 30 miles at some point, but that's not really the necessary number. It's just one of the trails that I ride. It goes pretty far, so 30 miles would probably be a good amount, but that's not really my goal. My goal is just to have a better endurance, because some of the rides are shorter, some are longer, but I want to be able to kind of be in like zone 2 or zone 3. I looked and like my heart rate was so high on my mountain bike ride, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's because I'm not used to it yet. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there, and I'm getting better. And the last thing is motivation and energy. I tend to struggle with low energy, especially with like bipolar disorder, things like that. And I just struggle with that, and ADHD, and just being tired, being stressed, having a lot of jobs. And so I want to have better energy, and I want to have better motivation. And so I'm trying to find motivation in things to not only be a better version of myself or whatever, but to be a better everything. I want it to help with energy. I want it to help with things I have to do. And I think that this is the way to do it. And at one point, I'll probably show all the things that I've been doing, but to kind of give you a rundown, it's mainly been cycling on the weekend once a week. I've also been doing like stretches every day. I've been doing resistance band training. I've been doing like grip strength exercises. And I've been trying to make sure that I do posture improvement on all my stretching. And I think I'm going to get stronger and stronger every time. And I'm definitely going to show you all the progress. And if you're tired of me talking about fitness, sorry, because I've been really into it. But It's one of those things where the whole point of the videos is not just to be a musician and promote your music, right? The point is to be a person. And people don't just have one thing that they do. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow.